Hey y'all, welcome to day 18 of living in my truck till I graduate. Woke up at my buddy's house, took a shower, brushed my teeth, got ready to hit the road starting at 372,972 miles. Today's my day off. I'm hitting the Chisholmtrailbyway. This is on the Onyx off-road app, but first I'm going to stop by HEB after planning the trip a little bit in a parking lot and doing some work stuff. Make sure there's nothing I don't need. I did scoop out the sushi, which looks delicious. They were making it fresh right there. I did pick up some coffee and a little treat for myself later for my first official adventure. This is the coffee I got. That should make me about 4 coffees in the morning until I figure out what Overland propane heater coffee thing I can make. And I picked myself up a carrot cake as a treat to myself. My best friend recommends these dude wipes to pick some up just in case. This is when you know you're in a small town when everything's farm and ranch. Almost to where the checkpoint of the beginning is going to be. This is the intersection, and I'm going to get started on the Chisholmtrailbyway to do some off-roading. Immediately started out with a beautiful path, great little country back road, completely paved. But it had beautiful views of ranches and farms, nothing crazy hilly yet. I did a little time lapse to kind of give y'all a idea of what the roads look like out here. Very smooth, easy to do in a 2-wheel drive vehicle, a car. Haven't hit no trails yet. Love seeing old stuff out on the roads, so took some photos. This is where I went through a really small town. First spot where you could maybe overland camp again. More old stuff that was torn down. More old houses. I love history. This is where I finally started to get some really good views. Did another time lapse. With the zoom on my camera, you can't really see the hills, but you can kind of see how far you can see just on level ground or flat ground. Just beautiful, calming, relaxing. I drove most of the time with my windows down. I did anywhere between 20 to 30 miles an hour on this road. Windows down. I actually spent this time listening to my lectures for school. Great way to study and enjoy some scenery. I finally got to a good hilltop, so I took this little video so you can see how far on just a hill you can see. Look how tall that grass is compared to my truck. Finally started to hit some water passes, which I absolutely love. This was a tricky spot. It shows to be a private road with state of Texas property, but there is no state of Texas property there, but I can use the county road. Decided to stop in that area and pick me up a little lunch. I went ahead and decided to make my sandwich. Just use some bologna. No, not bologna. Salami, pepper jack cheese, and a little bit of mayonnaise that I had. Well, I make my sandwich in 2 times speed. I'm going to tell you, this is one reason I decided to live in my truck. I love adventure. Adventure is my second biggest thing in life that I want, aside from love of family and friends and true love of a woman. But adventure it means a lot to me, to get out and explore, to enjoy life, to see things and experience things I've never done. So this gives me the opportunity like this, where I've got one day where I'm super south of about 2.5 hours away from quote unquote home base, but I've got to make my way back up north 2 days later for my second job. So I've got a whole day off in between where I don't have to waste time and miles and gas driving all the way back home. I can stay in my truck. I can go on an adventure. I can see parts of Texas I've never seen. I can go to state parks. I can go hit mountain bike trails. I can play disc golf. I can try a restaurant if I want to. With just the money I save from not driving all the way back home and then driving all the way back south, that alone I can spend money on, treating myself. So adventure is one huge reason why I'm choosing this lifestyle. The mobility to go with family or friends, to go do something that I truly love and enjoy. It's not something that comes off easily. This is where I stopped to have lunch. It showed to be Texas state property, but this is a county road right here. And apparently it's nothing but ranchers and farmland around. There's some houses down there. A vehicle did pass by. I asked him if this was Texas state property. He said, no, it's private. I'd rather not risk it for the biscuit. This is where it started to get good. Nice and hilly. Finally hit some gravel roads after about 50 miles on the Chisholm Trail. Stopped and took a couple of good angle photos. This is where I finally started to get really rough terrain. Like, I wouldn't recommend a low riding car coming through here, but a 2-wheel drive SUV would still do it. Saw my first low water passing, like impassable when flooded type of sign. So I wanted to go ahead and start recording because it looked like it was going to get a little sketchy at first whenever I saw big drop-offs. This turned out to be a beautiful area. I love the way that the white rock is around here in riverbeds and creeks. Luckily, there is no water that's impassable at the moment. But you can tell that this is a big water area. It's a big flow spot. You could maybe pull over here and camp, pending if it's like state property or not. It was pretty dry through here. I'm gonna speed this part up 2 times. This was the only one single body of water I came across. It was on private property, somebody's personal pond. They passed a little flood zone down here. And then to the left, there was a really old, muddy, abandoned, right in this area, pontoon boat. I guess they maybe had it on the lake at one point and a big flood carried it down and they just never wanted to fetch it. Finally passed some beautiful farmland. You can tell that they're doing some work out there. Passed quite a few tractors out here today. Once I made it here, the rough stuff was over and it was back to gravel roads. This was the highest point that I'd gotten to. Took a short video. I'm gonna speed it up 2 times, but I was the highest I'd been all day. I could see for a really long ways distance. Again, just beautiful ranch town or ranch area. Then I got to this part, and this part I got some more beautiful like water crossings. This one had a really big river creek that runs through it. There was even a rope swing for part of it. I did try to truck down a little bit and see if maybe there was a camping area. But this would be a spot where I could pull over. I made it to this water crossing. This was the deepest one of them all. It ended up being about 4 inches deep is how deep it was when I got out of my truck. Oh, that's the same water crossing, but that was the swing rope. This was some of the clearest water I've seen in the state of Texas, especially only being about an hour and a half south of Dallas-Fort Worth, about an hour and 45, 2 hours north of Austin. This is where I ran along the riverside. I'm just going on some really big rock and gravel. Just wanted to scope it out. I didn't put my truck in 4-wheel drive for any of this, just kind of creeped along in 2-wheel drive. After that, I kept going a little bit more, past another water crossing. This one was pretty shallow, about an inch or 2 deep, but we took some cool photos there. I was trying to catch the reflection of my truck, but I wasn't able to. The water here was really deep on the right side. On the left side where it was flowing, looked pretty dry. Might be a good swimming or fishing spot down the road. Gigantic bridge, great view. Probably I don't remember what river this was, but when it floods, I guarantee you this is where all the water goes. This bridge was relatively new. Would have loved to have known how the bridge was or water crossing was before, but you can see that there's like a 10-15 foot drop past some more old houses that have been somewhat torn down. Got myself another gravel road. What I took this video for, I love the overhang when trees go up over the road and kind of touch, connect, make a tunnel, especially during the spring when everything is green, beautiful. I just love that like tunnel vision for some reason. I'm attracted to it, and you can get some great photos of your truck, your car, motorcycle, whatever it may be in something like this. This is where I decided to pull over and do a little bit of studying, kind of rest from the driving. Did get out and walk around, stretched a little bit. I decided to do some homework, treat myself to my carrot cake. This picnic rest area was built in 1955 as a donation. Passed through this little town called Hamilton. I like also going to small towns, especially if they have like a town square, and trying to explore them a little bit. Usually the best restaurants are in small towns like this. Once I make it to my final stop, I'm gonna go ahead and top off on fuel for the tomorrow and be able to make it back $53 even. Go ahead and hit the gym, get showered and fresh for the night. Finally ending the night at 373, 187 miles.